Guys, welcome to the Example Podcast. You just heard the lovely Senobia, R&B jazz singer. She's here with us in the studio. This is Example Podcast. I'm one of your hosts. They call me aka Antonio, aka DJ Goody T. Another host.
I'm Hoodie Bandit.
And then this is the lovely Senobia. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. So dive into it, because this is the Example Podcast. We dive straight into it and the questions and stuff like that. What is your inspiration doing jazz?
So I guess my inspiration has come from just hearing other jazz artists, and I grew up with music as my outlet, my medium to express myself. So when I the first time I heard jazz, I felt more like it was felt more connected to it. And studying classical, everything has to be perfect, essentially. So hearing jazz, I felt like, okay, I don't have to be perfect anymore, but I could still sound great. And so that's why I really connected with the jazz music, and started to perform it.
Got you. So is it for it's what month is it? It's Mental Health Awareness Month. Is that a spiritual thing when you sing as well?
Definitely. Especially for I only do certain types of events because I need to be able, if I can't connect to the music, I won't be able to produce the sound that I am emitting from this album. It's when I'm performing, it's like my own brand of spiritual awareness, spiritual highness, my connection to the otherworldly connections. So definitely.
Gotcha. And I've been researching. So you was ex-military. So how was that? Transitioning from the real world to civilian world to the military world, as far as even going I'm gonna be doing this singing thing. Now, was you singing in the military?
Well, actually I was, and not really ex-military, because once a soldier, always a soldier.
True that.
But yes, I was performing and singing in the jazz band, the jazz big band, as well as the concert band. So I was singing classical in the concert band, and I was singing classical with the quintets, the smaller instrumentations. Nice. And I was in a rock band as well. So I did and performed a wide range of music while I was in the military. And the easiest way to say how it translated is once I got out, I had to do everything for myself. So when I was in, they told you where to be, when to be, and what songs you were going to perform. I mean, sometimes the band could decide these are the songs we're going to put on the set list. We would decide together. But ultimately, the gigs came in and we had a whole nother section that booked the events. And so I didn't have to touch or worry about any of that. But when I went to civilian world, I had to figure out how to do all that. Okay, I can sing now, but where can I go? So I had to figure out how to market myself as an artist and as a product, a jazz band, and I had to figure out how to just continue to get on stage somewhere so I can get that fulfillment that I need for myself.
You also got a marketing brand, right?
Yes, I am. Well, not like a marketing brand deal, but just working with different marketing agencies. So I worked with a couple of marketing agencies to help promote this new album, and I worked with a couple of just friends, people just helping, trying to figure things out.
Got you.
You also have kids as well. So how you transition and keep going with your music, but also being a full-time mom?
I mean, you have no choice. In my instance, I know some people are oh, we have kids now, that's it, over for me, but for my mental health, I can't.
Gotcha.
And then of course, what do I want to show them? You have dreams, but now that you have a family and kids, give them up? Absolutely not. That is not what I am presenting to them. I want them to know if that's what you want, if those are your goals, you can do it.
Right.
It's just going to be harder. Now, if those are your goals, maybe we should realign our thinking. Like, I think I've maybe had like a mentor or a coach along the way to help me. Maybe it would not have been, but now that it is, I continue to do it, and sometimes I bring them and let them see my shows and see. They say that I'm famous. I'm like, no, I'm not, babe. Stop telling people that. It's embarrassing.
So bad.
Mommy famous.
It's embarrassing because they are like mentally. They kind of, and that's why I bring them, because they are like my cheerleaders, and they're wishing the best for me, and they're everything any team anywhere would ever want to help pump them up right before a show. But then once I'm on stage, it's like, that's it. It's just the music and it's me.
So going back, how long have you been singing?
I've actually been singing all my life. Like all my life that I can think of. But like my first concert was elementary school. So in 4th grade, I played the violin, and then which really helped me like start theory. And 5th grade, I was like, well, I don't want to play clarinet. It was either continue violin, clarinet at my school, or go to the choir. And I chose choir, and I've been choosing choir ever since. So I think that maybe like 9, 10.
Yeah.
And then, all through middle school, competitively singing, high school, competitively singing, and then went to college and competitively singing and performing. So, yeah.
Wow. So I do know you got siblings. So growing up, did you always get on your siblings' nerves when you were singing, or did they do it with you?
I think that's a question for them, because
well, I guess so.
we would sing together. I know,
Okay, so
because we would sing with our mom, we would sing with our grandma, and we harmonize. I was always quiet, and I kept to myself. So if I was singing, it would be on my own.
Okay.
Otherwise, it would be because I'm practicing. Otherwise, it would be at a competition, and then of course, if they came, I know a few of my siblings, they were in choir themselves. So we all just took different paths after that.
So go ahead.
Good. So growing up, who was your biggest inspiration as you was listening to growing up to really make you like, I want to do this? Like, who was your inspiration?
I never had that inclination that I wanted to do it, actually. I would just sing it. I would just sing it just because it was something I was good at, and it was easy. So that's what I was doing. Now there are artists that I would sing, like of course Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey. I love Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake. Who else? Usher. Pretty much all the hot people from the 90s.
Gotcha.
All the people that most people know, pop culture in the 90s. That's what I listened to. I didn't really start hearing. My first time I heard Shaka Khan was when Waiting to Exhale came out. I don't know the year, but I know that was the first time I heard her because I love that album. That whole album was on repeat, and that was my first time like learning and loving My Funny Valentine. And then I didn't know it was a jazz song. I would sing it the way Shaka Khan sang it whenever I performed the song, not realizing, oh, this is jazz. And then once I got to high school, I learned more about Nat King Cole, and I liked his sound. Of course, Frank Sinatra. Who doesn't know Frank Sinatra?
Yeah.
So I mean, I knew the popular artists, but I didn't know, other than those people, I didn't really. I mean, Shaka Khan, she's not really considered jazz, but she is eccentric.
Yeah.
So she can fit whatever she wants.
Right.
But like true jazz, Nat King Cole and Frank Sinatra, like they're synonymous with jazz. Those are pretty much the main two artists that I knew about. I didn't find out more about more jazz artists until later. So even when I was in high school, it never occurred to me that I could be a singer. It was like, I remember one year, it was my senior year, and all of us were in the band room or the choir room, and I was just like, man, I always wanted to go to college. I really want to go to college, but I have no idea what I was studying. And then my high school choir teacher looked at me like I was like something was wrong with my head, and she was like, Senobia, you can sing. And I was like, oh.
Right.
But it just never occurred to me that could be a feasible career. Like, 'cause I mean, I know I'm not Beyonce. I'm not, you know, all of the famous people. It never occurred to me that that was something that would be attainable. But I'm still working towards it.
And so, and I definitely got to give your flowers today, because like the biggest thing is like people, and I like unique artists. I'm a DJ, and like I want to have unique sounds like that with my, you know, music, even wedding and stuff like that. And you never, and I'm from here, Columbus, Ohio, and I'm like, I never knew, and he put me onto you, and I was like, wait, jazz R&B singer, what? So I was like, let me listen to music. I was like, oh, okay, I definitely sit down with her, because like it's different and it's authentic as you. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely got it flair, and you got the courage to do jazz, because you know in our era, you know, oh, jazz, what is that? You know what I'm saying? But like even with band, you know, people like jazz and stuff as well. But like my biggest thing is like, what keeps you going doing jazz?
Well, because, you know, even though my sound, if you ask a jazz artist, they would never say I was a jazz singer or artist. But I think everybody else associates me as such because I add those elements and I add those colors. And that's what I mean, if I could have been anything, I could have been an artist. And, you know, but that's not the medium that God chose for me.
Right.
So I love the colors of jazz. Like you can, it's not just, you know, the 4 chords. It's not just, and even though it's amazing what some people can do with 4 chords. But I like adding the other elements of, oh, well, I mean, it sounds like it's happy, but it also sounds disturbing. And I think that connects more to what my emotional turmoil is going through in my music. So that's why I feel like, you know, even though this is the chord, and most time me writing is trying to figure out, okay, what goes with the idea and feeling I have behind this lyric, and it's trying to find a chord that goes with it. Now I do play piano, but I'm not like, I'm more of a melodist than I am a chordal instrument internally. So it takes me time to figure out what sounds I think works. So working with my producer in Boston really helps.
Gotcha. And so you basically travel back from Boston and record, like, or you record like where you located at, or
so the initial like draft, I am, you know, with the click track in my ear, and then I perform, and I'm like, hey, this is at BPM, this, and I send it to him, and then we'll do pre-production around that whole thing. You know, we'll talk about what ideas I have for the song, what I think the song means, the keys and different types of chords, and we're literally playing with chords. He's like, what do you think about this progression? What do you think about this progression? I'm like, yes, I can feel that one's connecting. And then, you know, we decide what beat and groove we want, because, you know, him and I, we vibe so well. And that's pretty much what we do, is like, okay, what vibe and feel do we want? And then of course I'm like, hey, I want to try funk. Can it work? Does it work with this? Like, I love funk. I cannot even think about what a funk beat or groove would sound like. But I'm like, I'll give him a groove that I had in mind. And he'll be like, okay, and he'll like just develop something off of that. So it's fantastic. We work together like Billie Eilish and her brother. So,
definitely. And I feel like that chemistry is very important when it comes to music, because me coming from a music background, I've met with so many artists. I'm like, listen, you can't do that. You can't hit that high note. You can't hit that high note. I'm just not gonna hit it. And they be like, why you say that? I'm like, all right, go hit the high note. And I was like, I'm gonna record you. And like, all right, delete it. I'm like, I'm trying to tell you, you can't hit the high note. Keep in your lane. You know. And I never try to like downfall somebody when it comes to music. But like, if you can't hit that high note, you just can't. And like, that's why, you know, my biggest thing. And so this is our first, and I just want to reiterate that this is our first like episode for Music Matters, and you are going to be the example artist of the month. You're the first one ever, because I just like when I listen to music, I probably listened to your EP probably like, I'm not gonna lie, 10 times.
Just more than that.
Yeah, 10 times right now. You know what I'm saying? Because then
I'm always trying
kids like it too. My kids, my daughter, she actually wants to sing. But she has no confidence. She's like, I don't want to be on camera and nervous and stuff like that. And she's only 7, and she's still singing. She sings every single song, and I'm like, And she like, can you play this song, Daddy? And I'm like, just sing it. And she sang like, all right, I got that song. Even her mother and stuff like that, oh, we got the song. But we sing all the time. And like we was singing, she was singing a goodbye song, and I was playing it. She's like, I like that song. Play it again. Play it again. I was like, okay. And I was like, you want the lyrics? She's like, no, I don't want to take the, the artistry. That's somebody else's music and stuff like that. I was like, okay, I'll let her.
At 7, she said that.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Yeah, very smart. But like,
Yeah.
oh yeah. And the biggest thing is, so like, here's the thing. Who's your top artist that you like? Top 3.
At 7.
Tennis artist.
Yeah, I don't. That's
well, no,
too
as
long
right now.
ago.
As of right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, right
so,
now.
Yeah, right now. Yeah.
Okay. John Legend.
Okay.
I just love singing his songs.
Mhm.
I love interpreting them. Trying to think who else. Cynthia Erivo.
Mhm.
She's a Broadway star.
Mm.
She sings pretty much everything. Anything they pay her to sing. Like me. Anything they want to pay me to sing, we'll sing. Another artist that I like is now this is a jazz artist. Cecile McLaurin Salvant. I think I'm saying it right. The French jazz artist.
Because I'm like, wait a minute.
Actually, well, I heard a couple of her songs.
I got you.
Yeah, she's a French jazz artist, and her sound is beautiful. It's not quite like mine, but I love what she can do. So yeah, those are my top 3. Now, of course, I have to still choose a commercial artist.
I got you.
Because I love R&B. I grew up R&B. I love pop. I love I like Doja Cat. I would perform her, but I like her music. I like to groove, and me and my boys be in the car, and they like more pop.
No pop.
My kids definitely like more pop.
They went the opposite. We got opposite from mom.
Right.
Yes. I have to approve some of the pop music they listen to.
You probably put your head
but they even like pop hip hop artists too, which I know is like seems like a conundrum, but there are the ones who are like happier. I can't really think of the name of any of the people that they like, but some of the songs, like Sunflower, they like that song from Spider, and that's how they hear most of their music that they like from the ones that are in the movies that they like watching.
So, that being said, any one of your kids following your footsteps right now?
I am not putting that pressure on any of them. Honestly, I would not wish this career on anyone because it's a hard career. I mean,
what makes it so hard though?
Well, because with any career, you're with hustling.
Okay.
Because unless you have a team to help you, and unless you have the stats and all of that, it's hard. You're doing pretty much everything as an independent artist, and I would not want to see them struggle, and I would definitely would not want to see them give up. I would not let them.
If you think about it, if you make it and you get to where you need to go, wouldn't that be easier for them to pass down? Because now they can look up to you and be like, hey, so mom could do this. Tell me mom how to do this. They can actually.
Do you think? When you put it that way, do you think it was easier for Willow Smith and?
Well, yeah, because her dad was. Well, her dad was already in the music industry, and then you got her mom as an actor, so it's probably easier to get her in and show her the right ways. They probably fed for herself, but it made it easier for her.
It still took money.
Yeah, it did take.
It still took money, even with her first album or the first single, Whip My Hair. It really didn't go anywhere after that.
Right.
Well, yeah, because she decided to walk off stage. She didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
So, at that instance, she probably felt the pressure.
Well,
and add to that, like what she was saying too, like, because I can go from, being an athlete. Bronny James don't want to be LeBron James. He wants to be his own man. And, like, being in that pressure, I got to hold up to Will Smith. That's not my dad. This is Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? And, like, she even said when he was like, yeah, I got my dad, but, like, I want to do my own thing. Even Jaden said the same thing because you got Jada Pinkett Smith. Like, you got to hold that. If you not that, they're like, who are you? Even in Jordan kids, no one know about Michael Jordan kids or like that. Unless they date somebody else.
Like, I've seen you play, but it's like, okay, they're not.
Yeah. Like, unless they dating Scottie Pippins, it's just like, and like, for me, and I'll tell you this little story. So, reason why, and I'll tell you, protective services came in and by for me, it was trying to hold my dad's standards. He was a police officer in DeKalb County, and he was military army. So like, and he did security for my aunt, Sting Miles, God rest her soul. She was a senator of Georgia. She, I think 6th district, and she passed away and everything. But even my, people was like, well, both of my brother and my cousin was trying to hold up his standards because he looked up, and all that pressure on me. I'm like, man, if I don't make it in DeKalb County, they gonna look at him like, oh, what type of son you raised? You know what I'm saying? So this is why I went this path, and this is why I started this podcast, because I wanted to do media, because I love how they do it and the structure of it, as well, meeting new people and connection, networking. And we've been having conversations about me networking different people. We just had a conversation about networking, and it's just, I love that atmosphere. And when I first touched my board recording an artist, it was a heavy metal artist. I didn't know what I was doing, but when he started screaming, I was like, we gotta turn this real low, because this is a little apartment, and you're gonna get me kicked out, man. But just inspiring, music is my zen. And even when listening to jazz, my mom, when she was depressed and everything, she listened to jazz, and then she's like, okay, it's a new day. It's a new day. Let me refresh my mindset and keep on going. So my biggest thing is, what she said, it is that pressure when it comes to kids. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to that, we just think where we look at it can we do this like our parents, or can we do it a different way? Spectrum. So, but yeah, definitely, and
I respect that for them, but honestly, I would want them. I'm trying to help nurture their other talents.
Okay.
So I'm trying to find their other talents. Like my middle child, he loves tumbling. So
nice.
I put him in gymnastics, and then my other child, he loves to draw. Like his medium is to draw and to create things with art. And I'm like, what classes can I put you in?
Yeah,
how can I, get your skills up so that can take you somewhere? I mean, and then even now they're into basketball, and they're like, okay, I wanna be in the NBA one day. And I'm like, okay, well, this is what it's gonna take.
Yep.
This is a path. Are you ready? And they're like, yeah, let's go. And so I rather them. It's great. I'm gonna teach them the skill, because to have the skill to be able to produce music and sound is a great talent, but I'm not going to be like, well, you need to do this. I would never say that to them. Other than if this is what you want and you start it, you have to be sure, because I'm going to invest in money in you to get you to where your goals are.
Oh yeah, definitely. And so just going, what's next for you?
I'm just working on more music. That's all.
Working on new EP?
Music, marketing. Everything's marketing.
Would you ever let somebody write music for you?
If they wanted to, and if I could connect to the music, of course, I'll perform it. But unfortunately, I'm not in that position.
I got you.
Yeah. Right now, it's better to, and I like to create my own music. I'm working on my new EP. We just finished 2 of the songs on there. And I'm in the process of deciding, okay, how can we make that lucrative so it can pay for recording, and then so it can pay for CDs, because people like merch, but after paying say $10,000 for an album, paying another $5,000 for CDs, and then paying another $10,000 for vinyls. Well, I can't just keep throwing money.
Right.
I need to get some, sell some, get some, sell some.
Got you.
So.
And to add that, independent or sign into a major label?
I'm independent. People who want to sign me, it's funny because my dad was like, always keep your royalties. I'm like, or your masters. I'm like, Dad, I would love to. But if a label artist wants to come and help boost my brand and, take 50% or take 100% of my royalties by giving me marketing, because I already know that is expensive.
Gotcha, yeah.
I mean, it's different when you're a child, like, oh yeah, I want a record label. You have no anything about the business, but you've been in the business now, and you're seeing how expensive it is, and you're seeing what you need to help get you to certain levels, and you're like, the money. Honestly, a label is like a loan. It's just a loan, and essentially that's what you're paying them back with your masters. You're paying them back.
Word.
So. Yeah, I would love to. Somebody wants to sign me and give me money for marketing and merch. Thank you.
Yeah.
And marketing.
You appreciate it. Yes. Because like I always been in the level of independent because like you don't know who's what in the major label and this the allegations and stuff like that, and you're like, wait a minute. I'm not doing that. This is not what I was raised. You're not telling me to do this. Because even, for example, Machine Gun Kelly, he went from hip-hop to, like, punk rock. And I was like, wait a minute. Now he's wearing all... And then, don't get me wrong, a man could wear pink. But then when you start, having nail polish on your nails and stuff like that.
I mean, that's what you want.
Right.
So maybe, some people like, I can't say no.
Yeah.
Read your contract.
Yeah, sure.
Did it say you have to wear this and do this?
Because I actually have a friend who was famous. She was in a group called Fatty Coo. I don't know if you ever heard of Fatty Coo. And I graduated with her, so we always stay in contact with her. When she had her own TV show on MTV. But when I always talk to her and I always ask her, like, what happened, why, what she do, she was like, being famous is not always what you think, because you got drugs is always in you. Like this bunch of stuff, and she said so after I got done with the group I just did music behind the scenes and write music for other people, famous people. She said I even tried to write a song for Beyonce, so she's always in it, but it was just like being there kind of like ruined the group because they were so young. When they started they was only about 18, 19 when they started with Fatty Coo. So because they're so young it kind of just ruined them, and it's like now like what do we do? So, but
you have to be knowledgeable, and then you have to have strong people around you to protect you and not take advantage of you.
Yeah.
So to not be in a situation like what happened, or at least what they're saying with Justin Bieber.
Right.
Like honestly, would I want any of my kids to take this path? Not while they're young. If they wanted to, or if they did, that would be my full-time job.
Got you.
Protecting them.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I would not. I mean, even now. Like, they never leave my side.
Right, Senobia, the management company.
Even now,
what you doing? We're not doing that.
Somebody say, "Oh, your kid got to be here by himself," but it sounds like they're not doing that job.
Exactly. And I just, it baffles me because it's like, everybody have dreams, become an NBA star or R&B singer and so like that, and then they look at it and our kids are seeing this now, and they're like, I don't want to do that no more, because I don't know what they're gonna do to me. Like, because as parents, we all parents here, we got to protect our own, but we also can't hold their hand. However, it comes from a different mother perspective because they will be there till the rocks fall off. They're like, nah, we gonna be here every moment. Any shows you got, we're gonna be here. And dads does this too, but we try to give them that little push into the world because like even my son going into high school, he went from basketball to now he want box. He want to be a boxer.
It's funny that you said it because now my son's about to graduate and he's going to school in Carolina.
Yeah.
For music.
There you go. See?
And he's a great producer. Like the way he makes his beats and music, he's great. He's really good at it.
That's dope. So So if you had somebody that want to be an artist like you or an artist period, and they're like, I'll say age range 10 years old, what five advice you would give them right now?
Well, as a teacher, I wouldn't frighten them. So I wouldn't necessarily give them advice because that could be overwhelming,
Gotcha.
especially for a 10-year-old. What I would first just ask, okay, what are your goals? And then we would break up our goals into long-term goals and short-term goals. And then we would evaluate those goals based on, so hey, say your long-term goal is to one day perform on a Broadway show. What can you do now to prepare you for Broadway? I would have them answer the question, think critically, give me like a couple of answers and seeing how close they are. And then I was like, okay, well, there are some community theaters here. Starting there. Performing if your middle school or your high school, middle school or elementary school has musical theater, starting there, and then going to community theaters, and then a regional theater, and then eventually try to get some headshots, get your resume together, get some, get an agent if you can. Agents are they only want certain people. They're not so easy to get. Trust me, I've been looking. But yeah, get an agent, get a kid's agent, and get out there because there's plenty of musicals out there on Broadway right now, whether they're touring or whether they're actually in New York, that are making almost $2,000 a week. Children. So I'm like, you know, of course I'm like, hey, do y'all want to do this? And if my kids say no, that's fine.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, that would be great, but that's fine.
Going back to your song, which a lot of people love, Time to Breathe.
Yeah.
What explain your song? Like,
so this song came from heartbreak,
okay,
of course. So it came at a time in my life where, when I wrote it, I was reflecting on a time of my life where I, you know, was passionately in love with someone, and they expressed that they weren't in love with me anymore. So, you know, during that time, it was hard for me to understand the concept of love, because, you know, you're still young, you're still learning. Like, what do you mean love is love? You know, what do you mean?
Exactly.
You say you love me, but what do you mean you're not in love? So, you know, obviously now I understand. But then I did not. And so, you know, for him, and I'm like, but you're so kind to me, you still do all these things. I'm like, I don't understand. So that took a mental hit to my confidence in just my psyche and just how I was comprehending the whole situation, reflecting on the 5 years of us being together. So because of that memory, and of course how fierce and strong that memory was, I was able to create Time to Breathe. And yeah, so Time to Breathe, even like the breakdown section, just to remind me at a point in time when I no longer wanted to breathe because the pain from losing that love was so devastating. I had to remind myself to keep breathing. So that's how that song came to be.
That is a lesson to everybody. Please, Time to Breathe, because, like, you know, when I be on these sets and like DJing, I just did a fast show past week, and I was sweating bullets, man, because I'm sitting there like, is they gonna like me or not? They gonna like me? I'm gonna play this song, and everybody rocked to that. Every time somebody say, it's time to breathe, and like, it's time to breathe, just breathe, woosah. I'm like, okay, I got this, and I love that song because like it actually helped my kid, because they have ADHD, and like I played the song. I was like, you know what, we're gonna play this song. We're gonna do not Twinkle Twinkle Star. We're gonna play this song. Honestly, and they was like, I like this song. And that's my 7-year-old. She's like, I like this song, and she just listen. She's like, she's got a beautiful voice. Like, I'm like, cool. All right, now we got somewhere, because she really wants to sing, and she wants to be a pop star, period, diva. You know, both my girls are. I'm like, listen, you gonna act and you gonna do the podcast. We're gonna run it like that, okay, from there. So my thing is, you know what, and just in conclusion, and wrapping up the show is like, how do you first, like, what advice do you give yourself when you keep on going, when you're trying to keep on going?
You know, that I was given this gift for a reason, and I can choose to be selfish and keep it to myself. Or I can continue to use it and bless other people the way God has intended its use. So even though I may not be in the church singing, I'm still bringing people a spiritual awareness, spiritual awakening, and just an empowerment from my own music and from singing, that I know I don't necessarily have to be there to make that same impact. As long as I'm being authentic and true to myself, that they're going to feel everything that I'm feeling when I'm singing.
Gotcha.
So we would also like to know, you got to tell everybody, everything you're on, platform, YouTube, wherever you're on.
Where you performing at, don't forget that.
Because people would love to see you, like, live performance.
So I'm performing in Columbus, Ohio. I'm performing in Savannah, Georgia area. I'm performing in New York City. Anywhere people want to send me, that's where I'm going to be performing. You can find me on YouTube at Senobia and Friends. You can find me on Instagram at Senobia M. Smith Music. You can find me on Google Maps, Senobia and Friends.
There you go. There you go. Guys, This is the Example Podcast. This is the Example Artist of the Month, Senobia. Check out her music. I checked her music. I love it. Everybody will love it. Your family will love it. This is Example Podcast. This is your host, DJ Goody T, a.k.a. Tone.
I'm Hoodie Bandit.
And this is Senobia. Thank y'all.
Thank you.